Hi friends, a very warm welcome back to our channel. This is your Chanda Mama bringing you a new story today. The title of the story is Veer Savarkar, The Great Escape. The story published by Gaurav Gatha. So let's move towards the story. Before moving to the story, let's start with the introduction. On August 15th, 1947, India gained independence from the Britain. But freedom from British rule was not a gift. It was an achievement. To achieve freedom, thousands of Indian patriots, men and women, underwent untold sufferings. Many died on the gallows. Many spent years and years in British jails. Among the freedom fighters were the revolutionaries who felt that the British must be overthrown by force. Their daring deeds and indifference to death thrilled the people and inspired a nationwide awakening against the foreign rule. They were heroes, the stormy petrels, thrilling weather stories with bloody battles, bullets, revolvers and the bonfires. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, popularly known as Veer Savarkar, was one of the earliest revolutionaries. He was born in 1883 in a Chitpavan Brahmin family of Maharashtra. In 1899, when he was in early teens, he founded a secret revolutionary party called Mitra Mandal. In 1900, he joined the Ferguson College, Pune. There he stepped up his revolutionary activities. Many of his fellow students came under his influence. Savarkar reorganized the Mitra Mandal in 1904 and named it as Abhinav Bharat. In 1906, he went to England to study law. Lokmanya Tilak helped him to get a scholarship for this purpose. Savarkar's real aim to go to England was to organize revolutionary activities from abroad. In London, Veer Savarkar joined Shyamji Krishna Verma, a Gujarati businessman and one of the pioneers among the Indian revolutionaries. The India House, founded by Shyamji in London, was the nerve center of the Indian revolutionary activities. Savarkar attracted quite a few Indian students in England for a revolutionary work. It was under his influence that Madan Lal Dhingra, a student of the University College of Engineering, London, killed Sir William Curzon Wyllie, a hated British official who was responsible for adopting a policy of repression in India. Savarkar was arrested in London in 1910 and sent back to India. During his voyage, under his police escort, he made a daring attempt to escape when his ship was near Marseilles, a French port. He was illegally rearrested on the French soil by the British police. On his arrival in India, Savarkar was tried in a conspiracy case and sentenced to transportation for life. He was imprisoned in the Andamans, known as Kalapani in those days. So let's move towards the story. Veer Savarkar, The Great Escape. Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, born in 1883, was one of the most active revolutionaries in Maharashtra. He was arrested in England and sent to India for trial in the Nasik conspiracy case and sentenced for transportation for life. He was popularly known as Veer Savarkar. When he was only 16, he formed a revolutionary group and named it as Mitra Mandal. Friends, Britain has exploited us for over 100 years. It has sucked the blood of Mother India. Our aim is to awaken the people against the British rule and make life hard for these Ferengis. Mitra Mandal worked in the guise of a physical culture club. Members took part in wrestling and in mock fights with lathis and swords, etc. They practiced revolver shooting and took out Bande Matram processions. In 1900, Savarkar joined the Ferguson College, Pune. He began to sow the seeds of revolutionary ideas among the college students. He used to say, "We swear in the name of goddess Durga that we will not betray our companions and that we will sacrifice our all for the liberation of motherland. Savarkar and his companions brought out a handwritten weekly called The Aryan. Patriotic songs and articles were published in this weekly. At a meeting of the college club, Savarkar said, Rama established Ramraj after slaying Ravana, the symbol of tyranny and injustice. So we must finish the satanic British Raj. Professor Bhate of the Ferguson College also addressed the meeting. He said, Don't take Savarkar seriously. He is a devil. The meeting broke up in confusion. Professor Bhate Murdabad. Professor Bhate Murdabad. The slogans were raised. The secret police shadowed Savarkar. This dog does not leave me alone, was Savarkar thinking. One day, the police searched his room in the hostel, but found nothing against him. Savarkar and his friends became active in the Swadeshi movement. They picketed shops selling the foreign clothes. Savarkar's activities alarmed the college authorities. The principal called him. You have proved to be most troublesome. We have decided to expel you. At this, Savarkar was not surprised. He said, Thank you. Savarkar's revolutionary activities increased. Mitra Mandal was now named as Abhinav Bharat, and its branches were opened in different cities of Maharashtra. One of our immediate tasks is to collect arms. In 1905, Lord Curzon, the Viceroy of India, divided Bengal on the basis of religious majority areas, the Hindus and the Muslims. The whole country protested against this move. Poet Rabindranath Tagore led a huge procession in Calcutta. He raised a slogan, Are you so mighty as to cut the bond forged by the Providence? A boycott was also organized of British goods and bonfires were made of them. On the partition day, the 16th of October, Bengalis tied Rakhi on one another's wrists as a symbol of unbreakable unity of the two halves of Bengal. Appeals and petitions will not help. They can get us only partition of Bengal. The British will not give us freedom on a platter. Freedom is my birthright and I will have it, said Lokmanya Balgangadhar Tilak. In 1906, with Tilak's help, Savarkar went to England to study law, though his real aim was to work for India's freedom from abroad. India House, London, was a centre of Indian revolutionary activities. Shyamji Krishna Varma, an Indian revolutionary, had set up the Free India Society there to carry out revolutionary activities. Hardyal, Madam Kama and many other revolutionaries stayed there. Savarkar joined the Free India Society. He made it more effective. Revolutionary literature was read in the Sunday meetings of the society. The secret police kept a watch on the India House residents. Posing as a student, an Indian CID named Kirtikar stayed in the India House. He used to send reports about the Indian revolutionaries to the government. Savarkar and his companions kept a watch on his activities. One night, when Kirtikar was out of his room was searched and an incomplete report about the revolutionaries was found. On Kirtikar's return, Iyer, a trusted comrade of Savarkar, questioned him. He trembled from head to foot at the sight of Iyer's revolver. Kirtikar confessed his guilt. Yes, I was sending reports to the government about you. Please forgive me. You continue sending the reports after showing them to me, said Savarkar. Savarkar recruited new members from among the Indian students in Britain. Mother India is in chains. She expects that we will break her chains, said Savarkar. Why to seek a career in the Indian civil service which is neither Indian nor civil nor service? Your place is among the revolutionaries. We are so few. We are so far from homes. What can we do here? Asked these guys. In a war of independence, numbers do not count. What matters is a bold, courageous action at a sensitive area like London, the centre of the British Empire. Moreover, you can collect funds to buy pistols for revolutionaries in India. Savarkar and his fellow revolutionaries obtained pistols and smuggled them to India. One day, Chhatrabhuj Amin, a cook at the India House, came to Savarkar. He asked, "Sir, I am going back to India. Why don't you give me a chance to do something for my country?" Savarkar gave him 20 Browning automatic pistols to be delivered to Mr. Thate, the president of Maharashtra branch of Abhinav Bharat, saying, "It's a dangerous path, Chhatrabhuj." Chhatrabhuj replied, "I am not afraid of dangers, sir." Chhatrabhuj concealed the pistols in the false bottom of a suitcase. "Be careful, Chhatrabhuj," Savarkar told him. So, at this, Chhatrabhuj replied, "Don't worry, sir." In India, Chhatrabhuj managed to smuggle the pistols into India but could not find Mr. Thate at the appointed place. "Thate has not turned up. What should I do with these pistols?" Thate could not keep the appointment because he was being shadowed by a member of the secret police. Thate met Chhatrabhuj after a few days. He told Chhatrabhuj what had happened. "That day, I was being shadowed by the police." Chhatrabhuj told him that he had already given the pistols to the other revolutionaries and was keeping only one with him. Thate asked for that pistol. "I'll put it to good use. Thank you," Mr. Thate replied to Chhatrabhuj. In 1908, Bal Gangadhar Tilak was jailed for inflaming public opinion and sent to Mandalay, Burma. "You have been found guilty by the jury. I sentence you to 6 years imprisonment," said the judge. "I say that I am innocent. It is perhaps the will of God that I should suffer so that the cause of India's freedom should prosper," said Bal Gangadhar Tilak. There were riots in the Bombay following the trial. At Nashik, Ganesh Damodar, the elder brother of Savarkar, was arrested and given life imprisonment for his revolutionary activities. In England, William Curzon Wiley was a high British official. He was responsible for giving inhuman treatment to Tilak and Savarkar's elder brother. Savarkar planned to kill him. For this, Madanlal Dhingra, an Indian student in London, offered to do the job. When Madanlal said, "I may be allowed to kill this notorious officer," Veer Savarkar said, "Let us see if you pass the test." A pin was pierced through Madanlal's palm to test his mettle. Blood flowed out profusely, but Dhingra remained calm. Dhingra was allowed to do the job. Savarkar gave him an automatic pistol to be used in the action. "God be with you." Well, this was the statement which Savarkar told when he was giving away the pistol. On July 1, 1909, loyal Indians were holding the annual meeting of the Indian National Association in one of the rooms of the Jahangir House of the Imperial Institute, London. Sir William Curzon Wiley was a chief guest. Dhingra shot him dead. "You devil!" A meeting was called by the Tories at the Caxton Hall, London, to condemn Dhingra's action. Sir Aga Khan was in the chair. Savarkar and some Englishmen were also present there. A resolution condemning Dhingra's action was put up to vote. Savarkar stood up and said, "I oppose the resolution." An Englishman slapped Savarkar, saying, "Look how straight the English fist goes." Immediately an Indian rose and struck the Englishman with a stick. "Look how straight the Indian stick goes." The meeting broke up in confusion. Dhingra was tried for the murder of Sir William Curzon Wiley. He told into the court, "Since open battle is rendered impossible to a disarmed race, I attacked by surprise. Since guns were denied to me, I drew a pistol and shot. The judge sentenced Dhingra to death. The jury has found you guilty. I sentence you to death by hanging, said the judge. For this, Madanlal Dhingra replied, "Thank you, my lord. I am proud to lay down my humble life for my country. You have done me a great honor." Dhingra kissed the hangman's noose before mounting the gallows. He died on the gallows on August 17, 1909. In India, on December 21, 1909, Jackson, district magistrate of Nasik, was shot dead by a member of Abhinav Bharat Society at a farewell party. This is to avenge the punishment given to Ganesh Savarkar. The revolutionary was caught and beaten up by the police. A pistol was recovered from him. It's a foreign pistol. Many revolutionaries were arrested following the Jackson's murder. One revolutionary became an approver. He gave the police the details of the conspiracy to kill Jackson. He told them that the pistol had been sent by Savarkar from England. In England, on March 13, 1910, Savarkar returned to London from France, and the policeman saw him. Here he is. Here he is. Savarkar was taken by surprise. "You are under arrest, Mr. Savarkar." "Arrest? For what? For what offence?" "That you will know later." And the policeman had handcuffed his hands. Savarkar was kept in the lockup. He was to be sent back to India. He decided to make an attempt to escape when the ship touched Marseilles, a French port. "I must try my luck." Savarkar gave a hint to Iyer about his plan. "God willing, we will meet at the land of liberty, equality, and fraternity." "Time is over. Please stop now," said the policeman guarding Savarkar. On July 1, 1910, Savarkar was sent to India on a ship named SS Morier. Madam Kama and Iyer picked up the hint that Savarkar would make an escape attempt. He meant the French port Marseilles when he had said the land of liberty, equality, and fraternity. So, for this, Iyer replied, "Come, let us reach Marseilles and help him. SS Morier will anchor at Marseilles on the 7th day of this month, that is 6 days from now." On the morning of July 7, 1910, Savarkar sought the permission of his guards to go to the toilet. Once into the cabin, he went into action immediately. He took off his gown. Underneath, he was wearing a tight-fitting white shirt and pants. He caught hold of the bars on the porthole. He succeeded in breaking the bars. The time was short and he had to make sure that no noise was made, and he tried to take out his legs first, but got stuck at the hips. Then he tried to take out his head first. Outside the cabin, the guards waited and relaxed and confident that the prisoner was inside. Meanwhile, Savarkar was busy trying to get out. Without a moment's hesitation, he jumped into the water 40 feet below. He swam underwater towards the shore. By that time, the guards got suspicious. Why is taking so long for him? Has he gone to sleep? They knocked the door. "Come out! What are you doing there?" There was no response, and they broke open the door, only to find out that he was not there. He must have jumped out of that porthole, so they lowered the boat to pursue him. "Quick, we must stop him." The other guards looked for Savarkar in the sea. Guns were kept ready to fire at him. Savarkar could not stay underwater for long. He raised his head above water to breathe. As soon as his head was spotted over the water, the guards took aim and fired. "There he is!" Savarkar again went underwater to save himself. The other guards in the boat were already after him, but Savarkar was ahead of them now. Meanwhile, Madam Kama and Iyer were also on their way to help Savarkar in his great escape. We must hurry or we shall be too late to rescue Savarkar. Hurry up, we must not get delayed at the railway crossing. The railway gate closed as their car reached the level crossing. What shall we do now? There was nothing else to do but to wait and allow the train to pass first. Savarkar managed to reach the French shore, but he had to climb a 10-foot high rocky cliff. His body was aching all over and he was feeling exhausted. There is no other way out. I must climb the cliff. Once Savarkar fell down while climbing the cliff. But then, with a great difficulty, he managed to reach the French soil. There was no sign of either Iyer or Madame Kama. What has happened to them? Perhaps they did not catch my hand. He was a strange figure, all wet and bruised. He was an object of curiosity for the French people. He walked towards a policeman to surrender himself. Meanwhile, Madame Kama and Iyer were cursing themselves for being delayed on the way. What a bad luck! A little beyond the gate, Savarkar was trying in vain to communicate the French policeman who he was. Take me to magistrate where I can surrender myself to the French authorities. I am an Indian revolutionary. As the French policeman did not know English, he could not understand what Savarkar was saying. He asked the crowd, "Do you know what is this guy is saying?" By the time the British guards reached the spot, "He is a thief who escaped from our ship. Come along. Your brief spell of freedom is over. You cannot take me away. I am on the French soil." "Keep quiet. You have already given us a lot of trouble," said the policeman. When the train passed, the gates opened and Madame Kama and Iyer were able to cross the lines. But they were too late to be any part of any help to Savarkar. Madame Kama asked a Frenchman in French, "Why has been that man arrested by the British police?" "He was a thief who had escaped from the British ship." Madame Kama and Iyer knew what had happened. His arrest is illegal. But what a tragedy. They could just discuss amongst themselves. They watched Savarkar being led away in the boat. Savarkar was brought back to India. He was tried for taking part in the Nasik conspiracy. He was sentenced to transportation for life and then sent to Andamans, then called the Kalapani. He remained there till 1924. We are helpless today. The world holds us in disgrace today. But a day is sure to come when it will honor us in this very place where they revile us. Thousands will visit this place to offer their tributes to the prisoners as martyrs to the cause of freedom. This prophecy of Veer Savarkar, made 70 years ago, came true in February 1979 when the then Prime Minister Morarji Desai declared the famous cellular jail at Port Blair as the capital of the Andaman and Nicobar Islands as a national memorial. So friends, this was the story Veer Savarkar, The Great Escape, published by Gaurav Gatha. So till I come back with a new video and a new comic book and a story, till then stay safe and take care. This is your Chanda Mama signing off from your channel. I am Chanda Mama. In case if you have not liked, shared, commented or subscribed to our channel, do like, share, comment and subscribe to our channel for more updates.